Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1982 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Seattle Mariners and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Mariners today is Jim Beattie, whose record is 5-3 with a 3.68 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers today is Tom Feiler, whose record is 8-3 with a 3.51 ERA. Yes, we lost the last two games pretty handedly. Mariners beat us yesterday 7-1, and then the final game of that White Sox series, we lost 5-1. And I basically called our shot in the first. I said, based on the events that took place in the first game, I'm like, this game's over already. And someone had asked me, like, how do I know exactly that the game is not going to be won when you've barely played a half an inning? And I have played thousands of games in Baseball Mogul in Mogul level difficulty. That's the highest difficulty, which is what we're playing here, in this one pitch mode that we simulate every single day. And one of the very obvious patterns that's maybe 90% true is in the first inning, if you have a pitcher that struggles, then it's more likely that you're probably going to get blowed up at some point. But deeper than that, it goes almost to like small things that happen in the inning. Like in yesterday's game, there was a wild pitch in the first inning that allowed the runner on first, the leadoff runner, which I think was Julio Cruz, to go to second base. And then a base hit by the next batter scored the run. Okay, so that is an intentional pattern built within the game that, again, if you see it enough, you're going to know that that is very typical of how the game kind of plays out a theme. And so, now, it is, again, it's not 100%, but I know that it's more likely than not when something like that happens immediately in the ball game that the tides are turning into the favor of your opponent. Another example from a different perspective that took place in the White Sox Tigers game here was Eddie Miller, our leadoff guy, got on base. I can't remember if it was a walk or a hit. And we tried to steal second base. Now, John Matlack pitched that game. He's a left-hander, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. But Miller has a 90 speed. The White Sox catcher had an 82 arm, and Matlack threw a 69 mile an hour curveball, and somehow Miller was thrown out on that play. Okay, that is a red flag. No doubt about it. Like as soon as that happened, I knew the game was over, because any sequence coming up after that is going to have another bizarre set of circumstances that will prevent you from scoring. And in the end, again, another thing that typically happens, and it happened both of these games, is in the ninth inning, in our last opportunity to score, Andre Dawson hit a home run in the White Sox game, so that it was no longer a shutout, and they brought in a reliever to finish it up. And the same thing happened yesterday, although it was Lance Parrish who hit a home run, and then they brought in Dave Heverlo to close it out. So as we get started with today's game, I have seen thousands and thousands of games. I have a lot of free time. I don't have a girlfriend right now, probably because I play this game too much. And so I see these things happening, and I can tell right away. And I worry for this game because we have Tom Feiler on the mound, who has really been excellent. He's approaching 100 innings pitched, and he's never pitched that many in his career. With a great ERA and a great record, he is due, by and large, to get lit up, to get moguled, as we say here. So we'll see how that goes today. He has not faced any Seattle Mariner as far as the game is considered. So, Uger and Brian Kelly will not be available. Both pitched really well yesterday in relief. Otherwise, we got a whole stable of relievers. Here's the lineup today versus Jim Beattie. Mickey Hatcher listed as tired. We had to take him out. After tomorrow's game, we will not be resting anybody who's an everyday player. We already suck as it is offensively, as Guy Sularz will take over for Mickey Hatcher. So we're already struggling. If we're going to go down, we're going to go down swinging with our best batters. And having said that, we're still in first place by half a game. So I'm panicking, but if it was a real scenario, no one's going to be panicking. Let's take a look at the Seattle Mariners lineup. Batting leadoff, playing second base is Julio Cruz. Batting second and DHing is Bob Pate. Batting third in center field is Dave Henderson. Batting cleanup in left field is Ricardo Saenz. Batting fifth and catching is Tom Pagnozzi. Batting sixth at third base is Dave Edler. Batting seventh at shortstop is Jim Anderson. Batting eighth at first base is Bruce Bochte. Batting ninth in right field is Joe Simpson. So Jim Anderson, first time we've seen him so far this season. And Bob Pate moving to DH, so it's a little bit different. Here's Tom Feiler. We're going to take a look at him real quick here. We're going to jump right to his log. And you can see he's won 2 out of the last 3 games, including the shutout. After the shutout, he gave up 5 runs with 9 hits in 3 innings. Again, that's kind of the game leveling itself back to an average of 6 innings per start, you know, if you combine the two. The last game against Seattle, he only went 5 1/3. It was good enough to get the win. So, again, I don't know if you play this game, Freddie or James or John or Dave, if you've seen these kind of patterns or not, but I know most of you are veterans in playing this. You should take a look at the Tigers' defensive alignment with Sularz there at third, anchoring the infield. Then you definitely know that some of this stuff is just beyond our control. And when I say this game is over in the first, it's not that I'm throwing in the flag, throwing the towel, raising the flag, whatever it is. It's just that I know that there's nothing that we're going to be able to do. Here's Julio Cruz leading off against Tom Feiler here in the first. Grounding out to short. Sorry for the long exposition to get to the ball game. I just feel like sometimes it needs a little bit further explanation as Bob Pate flies into center. Otherwise, I would understand if you think I was being a petulant child. Just saying, I'm taking my ball and going home as Dave Henderson steps in and hits a ground ball to Wags. That's not the case. I mean, it maybe 10% is the case, but ultimately it's because I already know our ship is sunk. So many analogies. Okay, here's the Tigers lineup rundown for today's ball game. Batting leadoff in right field is Eddie Miller. Batting second at shortstop is Mark Wagner. Batting third in left field is Kirk Gibson. Batting cleanup in center field is Andre Dawson. Batting fifth at first base is Eddie Murray. And batting sixth and DHing is Kevin Bass. Batting seventh and catching is Lance Parrish. Batting eighth at second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. And batting ninth, playing third base, is Guy Sularz. Jim Beattie, you may remember, I believe he pitched a complete game shutout against us. No, almost. 8 2/3, 12 strikeouts. That's what it was. 12 strikeouts against us on August 12th in 8 2/3 innings, getting the win. He's only had one other win since then, and then has pitched respectably until his last start against Baltimore. Who is surging right now? They are in third place. They jumped over Boston So maybe they'll make a last-minute run. We have 20 games to go after today's game as you take a look at the Mariners' defensive alignment. Shortstop Jim Anderson, pretty solid defensively, 87. Okay, Eddie Miller leading off, still batting .362 versus righties, and .306 overall. A tapper. Back to Beatty. There's one down. Next up is Mark Wagner. You may have noticed I am not coughing nearly as much. I think my COVID cough is finally on the way out the door. I still feel a little miserable in the morning, but otherwise, I think I've almost got rid of it. Here's Gibby as Wagner flies out. Gibby 1 for 2 with 5 walks against Jim Beatty. And another comebacker. So 2 grounders back to Beatty here in the first. A 1-2-3 inning. We go to the top of the second. AL home run leader, Ricardo Saenz, leading off against Tom Feiler. Ground ball to first. We're through the first inning, so now I do feel like the next obstacle will be the 5th inning, or the 4th. For Tom Feiler, it's the 4th or the 5th inning, where if the opponent is going to string together a run or two or more, it'll be in the 4th or the 5th inning. As Dave Edler gets the first base hit of the ballgame. Edler on first. He's got good speed. We have Parrish behind the plate with his 84 arm, so above average. Edler steals second. That is his 22nd stolen base this season, so he's been productive. Okay, Jim Anderson's up. Mr. Anderson. Hard hit ground ball to Whitaker, and there's out number 3. We go to the bottom of the second. We have Dawson, Murray, and Bass up. Andre Dawson leading off, striking out. No surprise there. First K for Beatty. Eddie Murray up next. Oh, it gets down and to the wall. Past Dave Henderson, the Gold Glover. And Murray has himself a double. That just looked like a challenging line drive out. So it's a third double for Murray as a Tiger. His OPS still significantly under 600. There's Kevin Bass. Bass has really let me down lately. He's really the best bat we have, though, other than maybe Hojo. But Hojo's been terrible, as Parrish will fly out to end the inning. So a hit apiece, at least, for the Tigers and the Mariners. We go to the top of the third. Here's Bruce Bochte leading off. First baseman hits a ground ball up the middle, snagged by Whitaker. There's one out. It's going to bring up Joe Simpson. Another ball targeted at Whitaker. 2 down for Julio Cruz. And another sharp hit ball to short. Wagner makes the play. Okay, a 1-2-3 inning for Feiler. 1-2-3 inning for Feiler. We go to the bottom of the third. Sweet Lou leading off, and Lou walks. Does Beatty walk a lot? Yeah, he had 127 walks in our first sim season, 85 compared to 84 strikeouts, and he's put it together much better this year. Yeah, well, but I get the ratios the same from walk to inning pitched. Okay, yeah, it's small ball time. Let's get Whitaker to second with Sularz up. He pops it up. Sularz did have a hit in yesterday's ball game. Going to see if Lou can steal second. Nope. So those two events, okay, we weren't successful with the bunt attempt. Now that in and of itself isn't enough to give us the loss. but followed that up with a caught stealing on a 82-mile-an-hour changeup with a subpar catcher, and that is a double whammy in my opinion as Miller pops up. So I'm not saying we're going to lose this game. I don't know that at this point because Feiler's still pitching well. But if he gets blowed up this inning, then yeah, this is where it goes down as base hit to left for Pate. Runner on first. Oh, caught stealing by Bob Pate. That seems like a mistake. He was 13 out of 14 before that caught stealing. So nobody's stealing bases today. Henderson strikes out, so the momentum has shifted back. And another strikeout, so 2 Ks back-to-back for Feiler. And suddenly I am uplifted here as our number 2 hitter, Mark Wagner, steps in. There's a base hit back in your face. So runner on first. We're not stealing with Wagner. We're not going to hit and run with Gibson. We're going to let him swing away and a base hit. There we go. Okay. So first and second, nobody out. Now Dawson, we know he is a poor hitter, but he is a clutch hitter. He actually has 62 RBI despite his terrible, terrible season. So that leads me to believe that there's a chance here he could come through if we let him take a swing. Ground ball to first. Is that a double play? Oh, it's not. Thank goodness. Lots of speed on the base path. It does move the runners up, so essentially that was a good job. Now we're going to ask our boy, Eddie Murray, had a double first him up. Just get us a sac fly. Give us the lead. Give us something to work with. He's going to come through, flying out to center. Marky Wag scores. Gibby goes to third, and it's 1-0 Detroit. Okay, it's going to bring a big hit Bass. Hasn't had a big hit in a while, though. As he takes a cut, pops it up into foul ground on the first base side, and that'll do it. Okay, so the Tigers got their momentum reversed, and they did manage to score a run. So it's 1-0 for Tom Feiler. We've got three righties due up. Pagnozzi, Edler, and Anderson. The nozzle hits it into center field. There's one down. I don't think that's his nickname. I don't think he had a nickname. Maybe it's just Pags. But I like the nozzle. Wait, please don't edit that out and say I like the nozzle. 2 outs. And Jim Anderson, ground ball to first. There's probably somebody watching this game who's going through them and clipping out all of my sayings and putting them together to try to blackmail me. Okay, bottom of the 5th. Great job, by the way, for Feiler. 2-hitter through 5. As Lance Parrish leads off against Beattie. And Parrish pulls a base hit into left field. So leadoff man is on. Now this is a hit and run situation. Stay on the DP. Sweet Lou's got good contact, but this is how... Oh, there we go, basic to left. This is also how Parrish has got 4 stolen bases this year. On Whitaker, missed hit and runs. So first and third, nobody out. And now we can hit and run again, right? So less than 2 outs, runners on first and third. That's a hit and run situation. And Guy Sularz is a good contact guy. Couldn't get the bunt down last time. Instead, he just pushes it to right. Parrish will try to score, and he is safe. So an RBI sack for Sularz is 2-0 Detroit. Yeah, we're going to let Miller swing away. We're not going to attempt another stolen base. If it was 2 outs right now, I would be stealing. But we're going to give Miller a chance to take a swing at it as he flies out to left. Okay, now we will be attempting a stolen base. Whitaker's already been caught once today, and he's thrown out again. What is his deal? 8 out of 14. I guess he's never been all that great. Okay, let's hope that doesn't switch the momentum back. We got 2 lefties and a switch hitter up, though. So that's going to be 3 lefties against Tom Feiler. He's only thrown 43 pitches. I think we have to at least let him try to get the lefties. Oh, there we go. 4 Ks for Feiler as he strikes out Bruce Bochte. That's not an easy out. Number 9 hitter Joe Simpson flies out to right. And that will bring up Julio Cruz. A line drive to Murray at first, and the Gold Glover snares it for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning. And Feiler is through the lefty, so he's definitely going to go 1, maybe 2 more. As Mark Wagner steps in here in the 6th. Swinging on an 0-2 count, protecting himself. Let's take a look at the in-game stats real quick. Player of the game so far. Tough to say. Maybe Murray with the double and the sac fly. Whitaker could also be considered, but he got the 2 caught stealings, so which is probably just as much my fault as Gibby grounds out. Oh no, it's going to be booted by Anderson. That's a 2-base error as he threw it down the right field line. So Gibby in scoring position for Andre Dawson. Another RBI opportunity for Dawson. And again, usually when that kind of thing happens, I tend to think they're trying to give us the opportunity. Gibson will advance to third for Eddie Murray, who's 5 for 12 and 2 walks against Beatty in his career. And nope, not going to score. So the error goes by the wayside. We go to the top of the 7th. Bob Pate leading off. Pate has 1 of the 2 hits today. Slices it. That's going to drop in. That's a little wedge shot into right center field. And Bob Pate 2 for 3 on the day. Okay, so the leadoff man is on. 1 swing of the bat here from Dave Henderson, who had a grand slam yesterday. I barely acknowledged it. I was so pissed off. Okay, so he steals second. That is that's his 17th stolen base. Again, he was caught earlier. So now I feel like this is a definite run scored. Well, maybe not, as a ground ball to short. Pate's got a hold. 1 out. Ricardo Saenz is up. Now, I could walk him, setting up a pretty easy double play with the catcher and Saenz, who's really slow. I think we're going to take a chance. That was dumb. Oh, no, it was a ground ball short. I thought that was through for sure. Okay, well, Feiler is just on top of it. I guess we have to let him face Pagnozzi then. All 3 ground balls to the shortstop. There we go. Okay, we're going to the bottom of the 7th. 2-0 Detroit. Okay, this is we need this win. So I'm starting to feel the heat as Big Hit Bass leads off the inning with a single, even though it's down the right field line. Is this 11 feet? What? So good job by Bass. We'll let No Pants Lance take a swing. Oh, that's a double. Nicely done. Will Bass score? Oh, do we want to go for 3? No, we do not. No, we do not. We got the run. That's what the important part is. And Parrish has his 23rd double, team leading 23rd double. And despite some recent struggles, I mean, his OPS is still a career high. No. No, his 1979 season was better. Okay. So nobody out. We're going to let Lou swing away. Oh, Lou! They're not booing. They're saying Lou. A 2-run home run into right field. It's 5-0 Detroit. Whitaker's 17th home run on the season. I still don't think we're going to get one Tiger to 20 home runs, even though Gibby and Hatcher are right there at 19. So we've got 3 runs this inning. Nobody out. Sularz slaps it to right for a base hit. 9 hits for the Tigers. The route is on. Let's go. There's Eddie Miller. Miller's 0 for 3 today. Pops it up. So I think, is Miller's overall average now under 300? Yep. That's a bummer. Okay. Mark Wagner up next. Wagner kind of coming back to reality as well. Although he does have a hit today. So 2 down, runner on first for Gibby. And Gibby pops it up near second base. That'll do it. All right. Sorry, just need a little drink of my coffee. We go to the top of the 8th inning. I mean, Feiler is at 61 pitches through 7 innings. Unbelievable. Dave Edler striking out, not even close. Pulling the string on this slider. Jim Anderson making up for the error of the base hit to right. Only the 4th hit. And we've got some lefties coming up. You probably think I'm an idiot. Maybe even before I did this. But we're going to take out Feiler. And we're going to bring in a left-hander. That's why we got all these schmoes up. And we're going to a guy who's been used and abused. Gave up a run in his last outing. And he's just been lights out versus lefties. We probably should be going to Rucker. But I think we're going to go to Cappy because we need this one. And we are up 5. And I guess it's not really a safe situation, right? Runner on first, 1 down. Here's Capizzello. Definitely worth some MVP votes. Ground ball to first from Bochte. And a double play. That's what we do here. Nicely done. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Jim Beattie himself is at 85 pitches. As Dawson hits another weak shot back to the pitcher. 1 down. Murray flying out to right center field, and Bass will be the last batter here. Unless we can get on base, keep it moving. There we go. Shot to the left. It will be caught by the left fielder's Saenz. So we're going to the 9th inning. Tigers are up by 5. It's the 9-hitter, the 1-hitter, and the 2-hitter. It's Simpson, Cruz, and Pate. So we're going to let Cappy pitch to Joe Simpson, who lines out to short. There's 1 out. Julio Cruz batting 120 as a switch hitter batting right-handed against lefties, so that's a no-brainer. Ground ball to third. Sularz boots it. Okay, so this is like with the other 2 games, this is where they get their 1 run. We can maybe prevent it if we switch out and we go to a righty. Now we have a 5-run lead. No, we need this win. We're not going to mess around. We're going to bring in Dave Smith. And Smith has been pretty good for us, actually. He has given up 10 runs, but his ERA is sub-3 since the trade. Here's Bob Pate. Bob Pate's 2 for 3 with a stolen base today and a caught stealing. He's not an easy out. But Smith jams him, pops it up. There is out number 2. And it is down to Dave Henderson. This is a home run or a strikeout. Strikeout. Tigers win. They shut out the Mariners 5-0. Handshakes, butt slaps, sloppy steaks. And we get the victory. We're 3-3 in the month. If you take a look back at last month, so it's 16-20 in the last month plus. That is not great heading toward the playoffs. We keep the half-game lead versus the Yankees, whose pitching staff has just been incredible. Our team batting average is .262, below the league average. Wow, suddenly I can't get my words out. But below league average, and we were batting .270 before the month of August. So all the injuries are coming back to haunt us. Texas is out. Toronto's out. Canada wiped off the map. And Baltimore, like I said, they made a little bit of a run. Take a look at the National League. Freddie's Mets half game up on Philadelphia now as St. Louis falls to a one-game back. And we already know those three teams are out. Let's take a look at the headlines. Headline news. Ron Hassey, last year's MVP, hits 2 home runs in a 13-7 victory over Minnesota. Dennis Worth went 3 for 5. Willie Randolph went 3 for 5 with a double, 3 runs scored in a ribby. 6 RBI for Hassey. Let's look at his scouting report. Okay, so this guy's making a last-minute run at MVP. I would not have thunk it, but he does have 92 RBI. Keep in mind, coming into the month, Mickey Hatcher needed 11 RBIs for 100. He's had 0 this whole month. So good job by Ron Hassey. He might be the MVP. Oh, there's no other notes. Let's take a look at transactions. Finally, former Detroit Tiger Jack Billingham retires. We had him in our 1980 season. He was really lowly rated at the time, but we gave him 16 starts. He went 4-8. It could have been worse. And then he sat in their minor league. Again, he was a pitcher who was part of Sparky's team for the Reds. And, a nice little compact career for Billingham. Another former Tiger news. Sorry about that. Rick Peters, we traded over there in 1980 season. I forgot who we got for him. Gets a pretty big contract to Pittsburgh. We got Jim Bibby and Omar Marino. Jim Bibby killed it that first year, and then he fell off the map. And Frank Viola is going to miss the rest of the season for the Twins. He will not lose 20 games, folks. That is a miracle. That is a miracle. Okay, let's pull up the box score and get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. 5-0 victory. Player of the game. It could be any number of a million players. I think we're going to give it to Sweet Lou, who went 2 for 2 with a walk. He hit the home run. He did have 2 caught stealing, which is redonkulous. Tom Feiler, 9-3. Oh, you know what? I'm changing it. Sorry, Lou. We're giving it to Tom Feiler. 7 1/3 innings, only 4 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Goes to 9-3. Where would we be without Tom Feiler? He's almost won as many games as Jack Morris, and Jack Morris pitched the whole season. George and Dave Smith did their jobs. They did their jobs. We're going to come back tomorrow with Game 3 of the 3-game series. Until then, everyone, have a great night.